It is the mission of Montague High Public Schools to educate and inspire all students to become motivated, articulate, productive, and successful citizens for today, tomorrow, and forever. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mrs. Colmer? Here. Mr. Newbauer? Here. Mr. Weisheim? Here. Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Ray?
Here.
Ms. Hall? Here. Ms. Francis? Here.
Item 4, approval of agenda. Suggested motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Forward.
Moved by Scott, support by Amanda. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 5 is a consent agenda. Suggested motion to adopt the consent agenda as presented. Moved by Scott, supported by Joel. Discussion. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 6, public comment portion of the meeting. Public comments will be accepted at this time. Each statement shall be limited to 5 minutes duration. Participants shall direct all comments to the board and not to other staff or participants. The board welcomes public comment but does not respond to citizens' concerns at its meetings. At the citizens' request and the board's direction, the superintendent or designee will respond in a timely manner. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education and Public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. We did have one person on the list, Mary.
So it's Erin O'Connell, 5472 Post Road, Montague. My family is not new to the district, but kind of new as far as in the sports realm. And this fall, my daughter participated in golf. And at the end of the season, we received a survey for coaches. And I thought it was a great idea. And it was very nice to be able to submit our thoughts, and I'm sure that goes back to the coach in an anonymous way. But my question is there anything that, or how do you evaluate the athletic director? So that's my question. Obviously those surveys go back to the athletic director because he's over the coaches, but I was wondering what is the process of that with the athletic director?
Thank you, Erin. Any additional public comments at this point? All right. Item 7 on the agenda is reports. 7A is principal meaningful minute. All right. Everybody looking at each other like, who's going first?
I do this every time.
Yeah.
Jen and I are going to tag team because, as you know, a lot of what we do together. There are some isolated things that happen at the MAC and that happened at RO and happened at RO, but we really try to be consistent and across the board both vertically and horizontally. So what has happened since we last saw you is we had our hero assembly on January 31st where we honor our students of the month. We have students who are doing an outstanding job meeting expectations. And then tomorrow we have our Valentine's concert with our second graders, so we'll welcome our families to RO in the gym tomorrow. And then Book Blast. I don't know if you recall, those of you that were here last year, we did Book Blast, and that is when students take home a treasure map and they can choose to let family members know that they would like to have some of these books that are on the treasure map. And then family members can choose to participate or not. But as long as they send out that notification to the family members, the kids get prizes. And basically what ends up happening across the board is every single student gets at least one book, even if their family didn't have anyone purchase a book. And some students might end up with 10, 10's the max. Some might end up with 4 or 5, but everybody will get one. And this year we have partnered up with Book Blast And they are going to allow that one book to be the book that we do our one school, one book. We've talked about that before, where everyone in the school will be reading the same book at the same time. And then we'll ask questions when we do the RRO news and when they do announcements. We'll give away prizes, that's that kind of thing, but it's just kind of to get the whole community reading together with parents and students all reading the same book. So we're really excited. And I don't know if you know the book, The World According to Humphrey. And there's 3 stories in the book, and that's the book. And right now my big thing is trying to look for little Humphreys to be in the classroom to accompany those books. So meaning like stuff, not real hamsters, just. And then last but not least for me, so we talked all last year about the book study we did on the science of reading and shifting the balance. And this year we, of course, have been piloting the 2 programs, EL and Bookworms. So we are hot and heavy into Bookworms right now. And most recently, the teachers had an opportunity to participate in what we call learning labs. So it's when they get to go to another school or school district. In this particular case, it's Mona Shores and Kent City, because those 2 school districts are currently utilizing Bookworms. So they get to watch, go into classrooms, observe, take notes, and then debrief afterwards with the teachers and the administrator at that school. And then they go back to the ISD with our coach, Karen Snyder, and then they get to plan like how that's going to impact them, going forward. So we're getting closer and closer to making our decision. April 2nd is our decision day to make our decision on which of the 2 curriculums we are moving toward. But in the meantime, we even have teachers who are giving up their midwinter break to go to other schools to watch other teachers teach. So we're really excited about that, and we'll keep you posted on what comes next.
I just have to add on the end, the administration had the opportunity to go to a watch party. It was a dyslexia and literacy watch party through the ISD, which was really amazing, to be honest with you. Right now they're talking a lot about the science of reading, they're talking a lot about laws pertaining to that. There's legislation out there that we have to follow coming up and coming through. And so we were lucky enough to participate and have lots of good information to share with our staff.
All right, I have double duty today. So NBC, on behalf of Mr. Crow, I feel like we need to knock on wood right now, because he said January and February are usually pretty quiet at the middle school. Wrestling team is about halfway through their season. Girls basketball just started. They're kind of the second part of the winter season. They had their last ski club event last Friday. 60 middle schoolers went to Cabernet. I believe that was their second one. This Thursday, the math commons team is going to Muskegon Community College to compete against other school teams from other middle schools. On January 29th, NBC had 20 students compete at FFA districts. They were right here. 2 teams and 3 speakers, and then they had both teams and 1 speaker qualified for regionals on February 12th. Then after midwinter break, it's a good 5-week chunk of time before the end of the 3rd quarter to get content covered. Teachers and students will be working hard to make sure they maximize the learning. And then at the high school, bowlers had the rivalry sweep. So last time I told you that the bowling pins were out there because they beat Whitehall. Well, they bowled them again and they won them again. So that was really exciting for them. They're very proud of that. We are sending 9 wrestlers on to regionals, 6 boys and 3 girls qualified over the weekend. Little mom brag, Fletch Thoman got his 100th win a week and a half ago, so that was exciting. In addition to Ava this year, who was the first girl in school history to get her 100th win. And then end of season is coming for the rest of the teams, playoffs, postseason. Cheer team is doing well. They continue to place high in conference meets. Just need to edge out Park one time. And they have districts on Saturday. The chess team, newly formed chess team, is undefeated. They're 4-0. So they're doing really well. They're actually down in the library right now. You can go watch, but you cannot talk about chess moves. So if you want to go see them, please feel free. Quiz Bowl is doing well. Ms. Treppa took over a Quiz Bowl this year, and they've been doing practices after school to compete on Wednesdays. The play cast was announced, and they are going to be doing Don't Drink the Water. It is a comedy that should be something that the whole family can enjoy. There is a movie if you want to get a glimpse of what it might look like out there. And then FFA Regionals, the middle school team that was talked about. We have several teams and individuals going from the high school. They are this week. We had a Centerline visit. We went to Centerline High School. A few people from the high school, a few people from the middle school. They are doing some career pathway academies there. Things are a little bit different, focusing on some alternate electives and career paths for students. They do a freshman academy, so there's definitely lots of ideas there that have us thinking about lots of new things. And then Mr. Johnson, Mr. Crow, and I are actually going to visit Nashville, who is kind of the home of the academy system, and we will have some training there on how to look into doing some of those things here. We really want to expand or revamp some of our electives to meet changing student needs with new careers and new technology. And then our committees, I mentioned that before with the staff, working on an academics, behavior, culture and community, and then our leadership team, our academic focus. We are really trying to look this second semester at looking at the kind of pre-tier 2 kids, so kids who might be struggling. We added a math success seminar this year with Mr. Felt, and it is going well. Truly believe that there are a bunch of kids in that class that maybe would not have passed math the first semester had they not had that extra support. So just trying to be proactive with some of those students. And then the PBIS team, they are getting training in all of our buildings with some people from the ISD, culture and community. They're working on some fun ideas. Community Day in the spring that we want to focus more on service and outreach to the community, some of those partnerships. And then the leadership team is looking at kind of a seminar restructure to make it more purposeful and distance. All right.
Item 8A is consideration of approving administrative salary schedule. The suggested motion is to approve the administrative salary schedule as presented. Motion by Scott, support by Amanda. Discussion.
Well, to give you a little background on this, when people used to retire from education, the Office of Retirement Service had normal salary increase schedules, and those schedules took into account cost of living and statewide salary trends. That helped the ORS decide how to calculate the pensions. Well, last year, in 2023, 2 years ago, the Michigan Supreme Court ruled that that is no longer valid, that you cannot have the normal salary increases, and that you have to have salary schedules similar to what our bargaining units do, our teachers and our support staff. So as a result, ORS is now requiring all salaries for the next 3 years. Our plan as a district is to bring this to the board every year to reevaluate everything based on our district's financial position and also other factors at play. So by approving this tonight, it would ensure compliance with this new regulation, but also maintains flexibility for the future. Do you have any other questions on the schedule?
I just think, Stacy, not to make it awkward for you, and I know we're not here to like comment or vote on it or whatever, but I think we need to probably look at the Director of Business Affairs and compare both of some of the administrators that looks a little bit lower. I think we can do better. For someone that steps in for the superintendent that takes the budget of the entire district, that keeps us legally compliant, I'm sure we get per pupil funding. I just wish we look at hers and then look down the line. I think that's something to look at in the future. Who's that much more out there, so.
Any other additional discussion or questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9, consideration of approving NBC and MHS handbook updates. Suggested motion is to approve the updates to the NBC and MHS handbooks as presented. Scott moves. Support by Amanda. Discussion.
So recently, Michigan passed a law stating that districts have to provide information to students in grades 6 through 12 on sexual harassment and sexual assault. So MDE created age-appropriate documentation for us to provide our students. So in order to comply with this obligation, we have decided to add this information to our middle school and high school handbooks. There will be a link on the Title IX portion of each handbook that will lead to the state-mandated documentation.
Additional discussion or questions? All right, all those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 10 on the agenda is adjournment. There's a motion to adjourn.
I would so move.
Cindy,
Support.
support by Karen. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.